Hey guys, so today I am going to be filming for you the look that I had in my previous video, my July favorites video. A bunch of people commented and said they really liked the look, so I decided that I was going to do kind of a quick tutorial on that. I didn't think that it would be like such a big hit. It's just kind of like my normal everyday like full coverage wear, or something that I will wear if I want my makeup to last a long time. So if you guys are interested in watching that, please continue to watch. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to prime my face with the Colourpop All Star Primer, and I just take like a few swipes of this and I just put it. Right now my face is really red and I'm breaking out a lot because I'm on a medicine that is making my skin go crazy right now, so we're just gonna work with it. Just apply this to my T-zone kind of area and kind of just blend the excess outwards. I don't really prime like my cheek area that much because I'm not really problematic on my cheek, except like here I have some dryness, but usually not so much. Now I do let this primer sit for a minute because that is the instructions on the primer, so let it sit a minute. I don't really know if it makes a difference. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take my Covergirl True Matte Blend Foundation, and this is in the shade T30 Warm Honey. It's a tiny bit too dark for me right now because I haven't been tanning, so I'm just going to put this on. It matches my neck, but my face is like really light, so I start with a small amount and I kind of just will blend it out and we'll see where we're at. And then I'm just going to take a Tarte brush and blend it. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take two different concealers and I'm going to mix them. I'm going to use the Makeup Revolution Conceal and Define Concealer and the Kokie Cosmetics Be Bright Concealer. And I'm just going to take these and I'm going to swipe them under my eyes. I don't have much left in this Makeup Revolution one, so I'm just kind of scraping the bottom. And this is in the shade C10, by the way. And the Kokie Cosmetics one is medium beige. I like to mix them because I like the brightness of the Kokie Cosmetics, but I like the coverage of the Makeup Revolution one just a bit more. So I'm going to take this one now and I'm just going to take it and swipe it under all the parts that I use the Makeup Revolution. This one's just a little bit more liquidy, as you can tell, and it's a lot brighter. So it doesn't always give me the best coverage when I'm looking for coverage. Now I'm just going to take my Morphe sponge and blend. So the concealer is blended out, and as you can tell, it's really evened out and brightened my face a lot. I always conceal. Usually, if I'm not wearing a lot of makeup, I probably don't conceal as much, but I always like to add a concealer because it does, I feel, brighten up my face, and it definitely takes away from the redness that I do have naturally. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take the Makeup Revolution concealer as well, and this is in the shade C14, and I'm going to use this to kind of start a cream contour. It's not like a actual super sharp contour or anything, but I use this to kind of bronze up my face. And then I just take it and I kind of swipe it in this area. Also, I like a very bronzed forehead, so you could totally skip this step if you really wanted to, but for me, I really like a bronzed look, so I tend to always cream contour before I put on powder. I'm now going to take my Tarte Cosmetics brush, and this is just a stippling brush, and I'm going to blend this in. I will just take a little brush like this, and I will blend out my nose contour. And then I will go back in with my beauty sponge and just kind of blend whatever's excess on my concealer to kind of even this out a little bit. I always do this because the bronzer tends to go like kind of everywhere, and this will just kind of clean it up a bit. This is the face with the cream contour. As you could tell, it really does give some definition to my face. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go in with my Huda Beauty powders, and I'm going to show you how I use all three of the shades that I have. The first shade is Blondie, and I'm going to take it, it's more yellow. I'm going to take it and just set my under eye. And I specifically only put this powder under my eyes. Next one I'm going to take is the shade Banana Bread. I'm going to take this on the same beauty sponge, and this one I'm going to put on top of Blondie. But then I'm also going to put this down the center of my nose and in all my highlight areas. Okay, so now that I look crazy, I'm gonna go in with one more of the powders, and I do this now so much every day because I really like the way these powders stay on my face. I stay really matte all day. I really start to get shiny towards the end of the day, and my makeup doesn't break up, it just gets oily. So the last shade I'm going to use is Cinnamon Bun. So I'm gonna take my Real Techniques sculpting brush, and I'm just gonna take the powder from Cinnamon Bun, and I'm just gonna stamp this on my contour areas. Then I'm going to take my other Tarte brush. This doesn't have a name, it's from like the collections that you buy. And I'm going to take that powder and I'm just going to tap it off, and I'm going to tap it on the sides of my nose. Okay, so it has been about 5 minutes, and as you can see, a lot of the powder has sunken into my face. I'm now going to take my Morphe brush and I'm just going to blend all this powder away. And so this is what my face will look like now with the powder blended away. Obviously, I have some little areas to clean up. I have harsh edges here. I will now go in with a bronzer brush to clean up these edges. I like to lay my contour on my nose pretty thick because I have a wide nose. I tend to like it to be very bronzed in this area, and you will see me go in a couple times with different powders just to kind of clean up. It's annoying, but it's just the way that I do it. I'm not super precise in the beginning, and then I like to go back and be more precise as we go along. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take my Too Faced Chocolate Gold Soleil bronzer, and I completely shattered this the other day. I dropped it and like I lost half of my product at that point. Like, it sucks, but I'm just going to take it on a Tarte brush, and this is just more of like a shimmery bronzer, and I'm going to add this right in this area. So this is now what my face looks like with that bronzer. I will go with my beauty sponge and just kind of clean up under here with like whatever is remaining. I don't add any excess powder, but whatever is remaining on here, I will just let this sit, and I kind of will touch it up in this area too. I like to extend it over my eyebrow in this area, but not too much white. I do like a really bronzed forehead, like I said, so I'll let this sit, and while I do that, I'll continue on with the rest of my makeup. The Too Faced Just Peachy Mattes eyeshadow palette, and the inside looks like this. I've used it before on my channel, I just mentioned it in my favorites, but I am going to take the shade right here, Peach Tea, and then this last shade, which is Fresh Picked, and I just kind of mix them together, and I just messily kind of guide this in my crease area, and as you can see, it's like a pinky kind of brown. And I will just leave this in my crease like this, and this kind of defines my crease area, my eyes, and it kind of just gave me some more definition and like more of a contour to my eyes. I feel like it really does blend in with my nose contour, which I really like. So the next thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to take mascara. I use two different kinds of mascara. The first mascara I'm going to use is the Urban Decay Big Fatty, and I'm going to apply that to my eyelashes. I curl my lashes, and then I use the Too Faced Better Than Sex. I'm going to do my mascara off camera just because it takes forever. And then I'll finish my mascara and my eyebrows. Again, the mascara was the Too Faced Better Than Sex, the Urban Decay Big Fatty, and then my eyebrows are my Colourpop brow pencil that I talked about in my favorites last video. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take this shade right here in the Too Faced Peachy Mattes palette, and this is Peach Meringue, and I'm going to take it on like a fluffy eyeshadow brush, and I'm just going to put it right along my eyebrow bone. And I bring it all the way through. I know some people, when they highlight their eyebrow bone, they only stay here. I mean, I focus a majority of it right in this area right here, but then I will kind of just spread it under here. I'm going to take my Sleek Blush in Rose Gold, and I know I'm using a lot of the products that I talked about in my favorites video, but like I guess that's a good thing because I'm showing you how I use them and like why they're my favorites, and this is really what I use on an everyday basis. So I'm just going to take that blush, and I'm going to smile, and I'm just going to apply it right to the apples of my cheeks. And as you can tell, this doesn't add like a crazy amount of color, it just adds kind of like a little bit of a glow in this area right here. I am going to take my Morphe brush now and just wipe away this contour area, and as you can tell, it cleaned that area up a lot. The last thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take the Hello Halo drops from Wet n Wild, and this is in the shade Gilded Glow, And I'm gonna I wipe off the brush because there's like a little, I don't know if you could tell, like a little well that a lot of the product will be held up in, and I don't like that. So I take the tiniest bit and I dot it right in this area. And these dry fast, so you have to move fast, but I will take it with my hand and just blend it right on the top of my cheekbone. And it doesn't do anything crazy. It's kind of just a base of where I'm gonna put my highlighter next. I like a lot of glow, so I'm a little bit excessive when it comes to highlighter. Little tiny bit of this and just add it right to this part of my nose. I normally will go up higher, but because I have pimples right now, I don't want to highlight my pimples. Usually when you highlight, you want to highlight good areas. That's kind of a point of like a highlight. The Bare Minerals highlighter, and this was the one that I also mentioned in my recent favorites. I'm going to take it on a Tarte brush and I'm just going to blend it in with that Wet n Wild. I will also kind of put this on a little heavy because I will go in later and blend it with a sponge. I know that like there are makeup artists obviously that are trained and they know what they're doing, and I'm not saying I don't know what I'm doing, but like they went to school for it and they will not do some of the things that I do, and you know, vice versa. But I think the whole point of makeup is finding what works for you as a person more so than what you see. So like I've said this time and time again that some of the things that work for me may not always work for you, but I've taught myself how to do makeup solely off of YouTube. Like since I was younger, I've watched YouTube videos, and really since I was in high school and I started to blog and stuff, I think I've come a long way as far as like makeup goes. And I think that if anything that you could take from my videos, I hope that you guys see that makeup is not meant to be like perfect. And the whole process of getting there is not always the same for everyone, and you don't have to be super meticulous and super perfect. Everybody's different and everybody kind of knows how to do things differently, but yeah, just realize that like makeup isn't perfect and you're allowed to make mistakes, and then you're allowed to make it messy, and you're allowed to clean it up with something very simple as a sponge. Like I mean, I was talking as I did it, but I literally just blended right over this highlight area that was once super harsh, and it cleaned it up. So now I'm going to take my Tarte brush and I'm just going to highlight the inner corner of my eye. The look that I do is like a super bronze glowy look, and I like that my eyes have that contour in this area and then the light brings them inward. Okay guys, so this is the finished look. I just threw on the Wet n Wild gloss in Featherless and then the Lancome plumping gloss that I talked about in the shade Opalescent. I sprayed my face with my Smashbox primer water just to make it a little bit more dewy, and then I went on top of that with the Colourpop matte setting spray, the All Star matte setting spray. And this is what it looks like. This is what I do almost every day right now. If I'm wearing like a full face of makeup. But I just wanted to show you guys this look since there was so much of an interest in it. Thank you guys for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.